Ontario Premier Doug Ford stunned both Canadians and Americans by announcing a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. This was no ordinary price hike. It was a direct response to U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods, signaling Ontario's willingness to weaponize its power supply. Ford didn't stop there. He threatened to cut off electricity entirely if the U.S. escalated the trade conflict. Such a move would be unprecedented, risking blackouts for millions and straining the long-standing U.S.-Canada relationship. Ford's rhetoric was blunt and provocative, making it clear he was ready for a showdown. For residents in the affected states, the threat was personal. Their homes, schools, and hospitals depend on Ontario's electricity. The announcement sparked immediate anxiety about energy security and the reliability of cross-border cooperation. The Premier's gambit turned a trade dispute into a potential crisis, putting everyday lives and the broader relationship at risk. The stakes had never been higher, and both sides now faced a dangerous game of brinkmanship. The world watched as a friendly border suddenly became a fault line. Ontario's move forced everyone to confront just how fragile energy ties and international trust could be. President Trump's response was swift and explosive, taking to social media to denounce Ontario's threat as a betrayal. He questioned why the U.S. ever relied on foreign electricity, framing the issue as a matter of national security. Trump accused Canada of using electricity as a weapon against innocent Americans, escalating the rhetoric. He promised severe economic retaliation, vowing that Canada would pay a historic price for its actions. The dispute quickly became a top international story, rattling markets and alarming businesses on both sides of the border. Public threats from both leaders pushed the situation to the brink, with the risk of a full-blown trade war growing by the hour. The war of words left citizens and companies in limbo, unsure if the lights would stay on or if new tariffs would hit. What began as a regional trade spat had spiraled into a high-stakes international standoff. The world wondered, would either side back down, or were they headed for economic disaster? The answer would come sooner than anyone expected. Just as tensions peaked, both sides abruptly shifted course. Premier Ford suspended the electricity surcharge, signaling Ontario's willingness to negotiate. Behind closed doors, Ford and U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick held a productive conversation. Their joint statement emphasized the importance of U.S.-Canada economic ties and a commitment to dialogue. President Trump, in turn, paused his threatened tariffs on Canadian goods. The immediate crisis was diffused, calming markets and restoring a measure of stability. Both governments agreed to formal talks, moving the conflict from public threats to the negotiating table. Key officials scheduled a meeting to renegotiate parts of the USMCA, aiming for a more stable trade relationship. The truce was fragile, but it marked a victory for diplomacy over confrontation. The episode revealed how quickly alliances can fray and how essential communication is to prevent disaster. While the underlying issues remained, both sides recognized that a trade war would hurt everyone. The world exhaled, but the lesson was clear. Even close allies can stumble dangerously close to the edge. The next steps would determine if cooperation or conflict would define North America's future. While North America teetered on the edge of a trade war, Europe was charging ahead with a unified vision for clean transportation. Electric vehicle sales in Europe soared by 34% in early 2025, signaling a rapid shift away from gasoline. Automakers like Volkswagen led the surge, making EVs mainstream and accessible. Europe's progress wasn't just about cars. It was about building the entire ecosystem, from batteries to charging infrastructure. Massive EU investments, including over €100 billion for renewables and storage, fueled this transformation. Initiatives like the Clean Industrial Deal and Affordable Energy Action Plan aim to create a self-sufficient supply chain. Unlike North America's conflict, Europe's approach was collaborative, with nations pooling resources and expertise. The result: innovation, job creation, and a continent positioned as a global clean energy leader. Europe proved that unity and strategic investment could outpace division and political standoffs. Europe's ambition is bold to dominate the global battery industry and secure its economic future. The European Battery Alliance, EBA 250, leads this charge, targeting a €250 billion annual market starting in 2025. The alliance unites over 800 players from miners to recyclers, building a resilient, self-sufficient supply chain. Global giants like China's CATL are investing heavily, partnering with European automakers instead of competing. CATL's joint venture with Stellantis in Spain will produce enough batteries for hundreds of thousands of EVs each year. Similar projects are springing up across the continent, creating a network of gigafactories. These partnerships accelerate Europe's battery production and technological leadership. The collaborative model attracts investment, drives innovation, and cements Europe's place at the forefront of the EV revolution. Europe's battery boom is not just a vision, it's rapidly becoming reality. The continent is setting the pace for the world's clean energy future. The contrast between North America and Europe couldn't be starker. In North America, allies turned adversaries, threatening to cut off essential resources and destabilize millions of lives. This conflict-driven approach breeds uncertainty, undermining business confidence and long-term planning. The lack of a unified energy strategy leaves the continent vulnerable to global competition and economic shocks. Meanwhile, Europe's collaborative model is delivering results. By pooling resources and aligning policies, European nations are building a powerful, integrated clean energy sector. Strategic alliances between governments, industries, and researchers are driving rapid progress. Europe's €250 billion battery market is becoming a reality built on unity and investment. While North America argues over existing energy flows, Europe is building the infrastructure for the future. The lesson is clear: division slows progress, while unity accelerates it. The race for clean energy leadership will be won by those who work together. The Ontario-US dispute is a wake-up call for North America. It exposes vulnerabilities in energy security and the dangers of using essential resources as bargaining chips. While Europe advances with a unified clean tech strategy, North America risks falling behind. The stakes are enormous. Jobs, economic growth, and global competitiveness hang in the balance. The path forward is clear. Collaboration, not conflict, is the key to a secure and prosperous energy future. North America has the talent and resources to lead, but only if it acts together. The choice is stark: continue down a road of division or build a continent-wide strategy for clean energy leadership. The decisions made now will shape prosperity for generations. The world is watching to see if North America can rise to the challenge. The future depends on unity, and the time to act is now.